Here it is, my all-time favorite album. Yes, fact. This is my all-time favorite album, and it is so valuable I actually keep it in my safe. I do have a safe here. Won't show you where, of course. Anyway, Mr. Bad Guy, Freddie Mercury. I made a bit of a mistake in my review for Barcelona. I said it was a solo. You know, everyone says it's a solo. A lot of people say it's a solo album, this one. But this is a collaboration. This is him as a solo artist. This is him with no help from Queen, just him. Just Freddie. This album, as you can see, contains a lot of his big hits. Now, just so you know, these weren't big hits all over the world. Only recently his songs are becoming big hits. It was a different time. They didn't have the internet in the 1980s. We do now. And thanks to the help of Spotify, people are discovering Freddie and his solo work. What other songs did he do when he was outside of Queen? And it also begs the question, do you think... Now, I don't know how to answer this. Now, this is my question to everyone. Do you think Freddie could have made it big if he left Queen? Or do you think he would have been successful if Queen didn't exist at all? You know, when I heard this album for the first time, I thought, you know what? Maybe he didn't need Queen. Maybe he did. Who knows? Either way, Freddie would have been a big icon regardless. What is it about Mr. Bad Guy that makes it my all-time favorite album? Is it because it's just by Freddie Mercury? That's part of it. It's also because this album allowed us to listen. What could Freddie do if it was just all by himself? This was just Freddie Mercury unleashed. No one else was helping him, just him, doing this whole album. Let's Turn It On, Made in Heaven, I Was Born to Love You, Your Kind of Lover, Mr. Bad Guy. Now, he made more singles than just the songs on this album. This album does not contain In My Defense or The Great Pretender. Those were released later on. Those were released around the time he was diagnosed with AIDS. But, other than that, in recent years, compilation albums of his solo work have been re-released. People discovering there's more to just Freddie Mercury than him being a lead singer in a band. Or, in this case, the show stealer of the band. Yeah, Freddie was a show stealer, no questions asked. This came out around the time after he did Live Aid. After he and Queen did Live Aid. If I had to choose my favorite song on the album, come on! All the songs on this album are my all-time favorite. Okay? This album is my all-time favorite. I call this the greatest album ever made because of everything I said. It allowed Freddie to show us what would he do if he didn't have the help of Queen? What was he as a solo artist? And what would he sound like if he had complete control? Like I said, this album was him in complete control. I was a little bit reluctant to review this because, you know, I would have said, oh, it's my all-time favorite album, show's over. I had to do some research. I had to take time. I had to dig. Who were the producers? Who took care of it? In fact, on the album sleeve, if you're lucky enough to get the album, read of course there's the lyrics here, but right here at the very bottom, it says, he wrote something, Freddie wrote, "This album is dedicated to my cat Cherry, also Tom, Oscar, and Tiffany, and all the cat lovers across the universe. Screw everyone else." Screw everyone else? Well, that's a little bit out there. But then again, Freddie was also a little bit out there. Okay, no. He was very out there. Charismatic, flamboyant. But aside from that, his voice was just irreplaceable. Now, if I had to choose one song that shows you how powerful his voice was, if you want to know who Freddie Mercury was, if you're first discovering Freddie Mercury, the first song that I suggest everyone should listen to before they start researching Queen is Made in Heaven. Made in Heaven. Oh, wow. That song alone displays how high his voice could get and how low he could get. That song alone shows you just how powerful his 4-octave vocal range was.